Good morning. It's a pinch and a punch, the first day of the month, gang. It's Monday, the 1st of July, 2019. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. Now, I have my... Oh, just note that's slightly out of place. I have my gun stapler ready. Do you know what this is for? It's a new month, so we need a new Barry Manilow picture. Oh, yes. The Barry Manilow calendar, as provided, completely free of charge by the delightful Barry Manilow correspondent that we have here on this programme, advising us on all Barry Manilow issues, Miss Wendy Young. Good morning, Wendy. All right, so we shall now change. Let's see what exciting pose Barry has for us this month. Are you ready? Oh, look at that. There we are. I've searched everywhere for a drawing pin. I thought to myself, you're putting more and more holes in that wall behind you. I can't find a drawing pin for love of money in here in the Mirable Studios. Can't. So there we are. Barry's new picture. There he is in a rather darkened suit. I should just now readjust my automatic calendar thing, which appears to be coming off the wall. I keep putting new script. I'm not very good at. Oh, it's crooked. One minute. Is that better? Is that all right? I look about right to you. It looks. What looks crooked here? Is it the calendar or that? 1 minute. Just a minute. There we are. How's that? Is that all right? Because it looks different to you than it does as I'm sitting here. Oh, that'd do, wouldn't it? You're not too bothered about crookedness, are you? My mate, he's got OCD. Oh, yes. You get up from the settee in his house and he starts puffing up the pillars and everything. Oh, it's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. You can go through the whole house, which I do regularly, actually. Go through the whole house and move something slightly. And the moment he walks past it, he'll notice it. That's terrible, that OCD. That he's always washing. He does about 3 loads of washing a day. He only lives with his partner. The sheets get changed every other day. Christ, mine are on there for months at an end, dear. Months. As I got up this morning, because of my slight weight increase at the moment, because of my slight weight increase, I noticed when I get up in the morning there is now a dent in the bed where I've been laying. Do you get that? Is it in the middle of the bed? There's like this dent like that. Oh dear! If you were trying to watch yesterday's Facebook video after we finished, there seems to be something wrong. Not necessarily with the video that's up there, but with Facebook, in that it will only play the first 4 minutes of the video. Interestingly enough, the video does stop, but the sound carries on. So I'm not quite sure what's gone wrong there. My friend Ben Parker, who does karaoke nights. Oh, he had a terrible night the other night. No one turned up. It was so hot. I don't think he had any customers in there at all. And that's just awful. So soul-destroying, that, isn't it? When you go to all that effort setting up and no one comes. But nevertheless, he did one the other night and the same thing happened to him. Okay, it kind of, the first 4 minutes played and then the video stops, but the sound carries on. So I don't know why that was. But if that ever happens, just switch across to the YouTube one. We never, ever seem to have a problem with YouTube. Never. And there seems to have been a lot of Facebook issues recently. People unable to see their photographs. I was unable to share to groups. Lots and lots of things seem to going wrong on Facebook. Whether or not they haven't got some sort of quality check there, that when they do something, I don't think anyone's checking that what they've done has worked or improved things, when in actual fact something else has stopped working again. So if that ever does happen, just switch across to YouTube, type in the date and the show you want. For example, United Kingdom Talk, Monday the 1st of July 2019, and it should come up at the top there in all its glory, in full colour, just like BBC One, dear. Just like BBC One, in full colour. All right, so that's it. Let's say hello to some of you this morning. I don't think there's too many of you around on this Monday morning. Diane Jeb, good morning, Diane. Did you have a nice birthday, my darling? Did you do anything or just a night in front of the telly? I mean, to be honest, I don't do anything for my birthday. Haven't done for years. The only thing I did for my birthday was for my 50th, which is 6 years ago. And I went to New York to see Barry Manilow. That's why I went, but I extended, I had a few days around it as well. And the reason I went was so that no one could throw me a surprise party. The horror that fills me, because that's what I used to do. I used to do birthday parties for people, when I was doing the mobile discoing. And many of those were surprise parties where, a hall would be hired and they'd take the person out and they go into this hall and everyone shouts surprise. The embarrassment, dear. The embarrassment of that happening. So I went on holiday so no one could throw a surprise party. I'm a bit funny like that, yeah. So how was yours, Diane? Morning to Mike Rees-Ponto. Good morning, Mike. Ray Reynolds is coming along to the Chamber of Horrors tonight. Ooh, see you there, Ray. You are, of course, the chief horror person there. Morning, Ray. Hello to Joanna. Good morning, Joanna. Gary Davidson in the house, as well as Gustav. Morning. LaBelle's there. Morning, LaBelle. Your emerald-eyed love big of Pride is here. I saw some pictures of LaBelle yesterday. She was at the Pride in New York looking for that hairpiece. Oh, my God, fantastic. I love the colour. I'm sure you had a wonderful time there last night. And I think you were saying, I read this morning, people were saying they couldn't believe you did the whole Pride in those shoes that you had on. Were they painful? Were they painful shoes, were they? I don't know how ladies can walk around in high-heeled shoes. I really don't. I've tried them on myself, only in private. Yeah, I shouldn't really tell you this. Sometimes I do dress up in front of a mirror. Nothing, nothing too strange. But, certainly high-heeled shoes and occasionally white stockings. Now, don't tell anyone that, okay? That's our little... can I do that one? No, I'm not going to do that one. I'm not going to I'll do it live, but not on here. As someone once told me, it's our little secret. Okay? The whites. Please don't tell people I dress up privately in front of a mirror in white stockings and high-heeled shoes. Pink ones, actually, pink ones. So I don't know how you managed to walk like that. I really don't. Morning to Johnny Key. Good morning, Johnny. He's been busy with Ray at the weekend playing the ukulele. Hello to Ray Reynolds. Good morning, Ray. Who says, a dent in the bed reminds me of the film Psycho. Mrs. Bates in the motel house. Don't know what that is. No idea what that is, Ray. Obviously a film of some sort, is it? Hello to Junket over on Vaughan Live. Can you spot the sunniest sunflower? It's you, Chris, baby. Is it? Am I the sunniest sun? Oh, I've got the same colour on as the sunflowers. I realise that now. It looks good to know. I love the sunflowers. This is really funny. I got a good example of how councils waste your money. So 2 weeks ago, we all got a letter. Got a letter through the post, which informed us of our bin collecting change day. We've had the same bids ever since I've been here, which is about 26 years now. I've lived here in Bracknell. The bins have always been collected on a Monday. Always. Never been any different, unless it's a bank holiday, in which case it either moves forward or backwards a day or so, something like that, okay? And so we got this letter through, and it says, important information, in red at the top. Important information. Notice of your bin changing day. The council has brought in a new... It was something like... I haven't got the letter here. The council has brought in a new system, which means your bin collection day is going to change to Mondays. The first collection will be on Monday the 1st of July for your green bin. And then alternately every 2 weeks. On the other week will be collected your blue bin. So we've got green bins and blue. We've got brown bins as well, okay? But that's only for garden cuttings. I do have the bin, but I no longer have that because they want like 55 to 60 quid a year for that now, which is outrageous. If it was 30 quid, I wouldn't mind. But what a rip-off. 60 quid to empty the brown bin, so I don't bother anymore. I'll cut up all the grass myself and just spread it around. Be done. 60 quid a year it is. So we get this letter through. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. We already get the bins collected on a Monday. No one's bothered to... Someone sat in an office, very, very important. What do you do? Oh, administration. Tap, 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 tap. Very, very important people sitting in that office. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, let's send a letter out. Tap, tap. Now, I don't think anyone's bothered to check, but we already have it done on the Monday. And of course, all this comes in the post. More council money being wasted so that they can prop up their own excessive wages, isn't it? Just madness. Anyway, so I put my bin out this morning. Funnily enough, I put the wrong one out. I put the blue one out instead of the green one. And my lovely neighbour, Dave, he was out washing the car about half an hour ago. He texted me, he said, oh, it's the green bin today, Chris. So I rushed out there and changed it over to the green bin. Of course, I hadn't put anything in the green bin. I looked in my bins last night and they looked quite empty. There wasn't much in the blue one and there wasn't much in the green one. So I couldn't tell. Usually, if there's more in one than the other, then that's the one that's going to be collected, you know. There was hardly anything in my bin. I'm very good, dear. Very good. There we are. So I changed my bin over this morning. Morning to Carl. Nice weekend. Thank you, Carl. Did you? Ah, LaBelle. There's no pain at all. Oh, what, in those high-heeled shoes of yours? The trick is, 1, to put them on minutes before you march. 2, wear character dance shoes. Oh, what are they? They were invited to parade or dancing. Are they made specifically for, like, walking around and doing stuff then? The heels aren't that high at all. Oh, you must be a tall person then, LaBelle. You must tower above everyone when you have your heels on, my dear. That'd be very good. Good morning to Heidi Oliver. Morning, Heidi, in Fulham, I think, in London. No, I've not seen Psycho at all. Not seen that one, Ray. Morning to Tommy Flynn. Morning, Tommy. Hello, young Tommy. Good morning, young Tommy. Ah, a fellow Catholic is in the house. I was talking to Father David yesterday. After church in the morning, he's usually talking to, as he stands at the back and people talk to him as they go out. You know, I've already told you we got this newsletter that tells us Father David is leaving the church. Not the church completely. He's being moved to another parish. And I was very disappointed to hear that because I quite like him. I feel a connection with him, you know. You know, you connect with certain people. You do feel that connection with someone. And so I went out to church and I went into town. Sometimes I treat myself on a Sunday to a vegan sausage roll because Greg's the Baker's is open on Sundays as well. I don't know if the one near you is, but the one in Wokingham certainly is. So I jumped on my bike and went up to Greg's the Baker's. I have a vegan sausage roll, which is incidentally in the opposite direction as of my route home. So I have to physically, I have to decide. Yes, I'll go. So I went there. The usual. They had two staff on today, a girl and a boy. The boy's a bit odd. He don't want to enter into conversation at all. You know. Now I like to go into a shop and whoever it is, young, old, girl, boy. Well, I don't usually bother with the young ones, to be honest. The young girls, because they're not interested. They don't want to have a conversation. They always assume that you're chatting them up. You know. Hello, how are you today? 35 pence, please. It's a bit like that. Not interested in talking to you. Anyway, so the boy was in there and the girl. And the boy called me across. So I thought I wasn't even going to try and enter into a conversation with you. Because last time, I tried it last week. Nothing. £1, please. I said, are you in here on your own today? Yeah. That was it. No conversation at all. So I had my vegan sausage roll. And as I was cycling back past the church, there's Father David. Everyone had gone there. Excuse me, I've got an itchy back this morning. Itchy. So I'm going past there, and there's Father David and another man who I know, who likes me organ playing, standing outside. So I waved, and they waved back, and I come over. I said, you know I'm coming straight over here, don't you? I just want to tell you, Father, I'm very devastated to hear the news. He said, no, you're not. No, you're not. I said, I am. I said, I feel a connection with you. And anyway, I said to him, are you because they don't choose to move churches. They are moved. And it can be for all sorts of reasons. One of the reasons being if you've been somewhere long. Perhaps the bishop might think, oh, he's a bit too comfortable in there. Time to move him on somewhere else. Anyway, so I said, are you glad to be going? Or disappointed to be going? He said, no, I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. And it's been absolute purgatory here for me, because apparently there's a group of people that just took an instant dislike to him and have made his life hell ever since. Isn't that awful how people are like that? And you get it through all sorts of things, through companies that you might work for, jobs that you might do. things like that. Groups of people that get together and talk to each other and make someone's life hell. I don't know why they made his life hell. I think possibly he was saying, he wanted to do things one way and they wanted to do things another. Church committees, groups of people that think they actually are running, are not that nice. They really aren't. I've seen it many, many times before where they get together and they hound whoever is the priest or in charge of the organisation out if they can. Dreadful, awful, ghastly people. If you don't like it as it is, go somewhere else. That's the bloke in charge. Anyway, I gather that's what it was. He wanted to do things one way. They weren't happy with that. So they started. And ever since the moment he got there, they haven't liked him. Funny, isn't it? I haven't got a bad word to say about him. I think he's fantastic. I've seen the way he does his stuff, and if it's like children in the mass and all that, he's really good with them. The way he comes down and starts walking around and with a microphone and all that, fantastic. But he was hounded out of there. Anyway, he's been moved, and he said he couldn't be happy to be going. He's really pleased to be going. You wouldn't know unless I told you that. You wouldn't know unless I told you that. So good luck to him. I think he's going to somewhere called Wantage. I think he said Wantage, which is near where he started. So good luck to him. I hope he's much happier in the new place. We never know who we're getting. Well, I do know we're getting someone called Father Simon next. I have no idea who he is or where he's from or anything. But, whatever. Each person does their own thing differently, I mean, take this show, for example. Who does this the same as me? Answer, no one. There's other people, men and girls. Some of the young girls do these little vlogs. And they might be doing makeup vlogs and all that business. And they still haven't got me makeup. I've got to get Max Factor makeup. Tom Edwards from Thames Television told me that. I need Max Factor makeup. But I don't know how to put it on. I won't ask my sister. When my sister, she don't wear makeup, but when she did, when she was a young girl, I would never forget. She was about, I think she was 15, and she had this makeup on. Well, she looked so much on, she looked like a bloody clown. Mind you, all the girls on the telly look like that now, don't they? They've got so much makeup on, which quite honestly is a shame sometimes because they're very beautiful underneath all that makeup. Look at the beautiful people that we have coming into the karaoke at Central Station, dear. Beautiful people. We've got non-Irish Mary from Ireland. We have Maureen. We have Angie. I'm just thinking of the ladies at the moment. What other ladies? We have the lovely Claire. They don't wear barely any makeup, if any at all. Maybe a little bit of lip gloss. That's about it. And they look fantastic. You don't need to plaster your face in makeup unless you're trying to look younger like Ray Reynolds. It's funny with Ray. He puts so much makeup on, and yet he still looks like something like an exhibit from the Antiques Roadshow. It's very strange indeed. It really is. Good morning to Maureen. Just texting in there. Good morning, Maureen. Let's have a look there. Just scroll back a little bit there. Morning to Michael Pullman. Good morning, Michael. All right. Mike feels a connection with me. Connecting. One moment, please. We are trying to connect you. Your call is important to us, and you will be connected to a customer services representative as soon as one becomes available. Please hold the line. Talking of phones, if you've got a mobile phone, news for you coming up on this programme. Very, very important news. Whatever network you're on, whatever your phone number is, I have very, very important news if you are a mobile phone user. Stay on this channel. Don't switch off, dear. Don't switch off. There's nothing else of interest unless you want to watch reruns of Are You Being Served or Peppa Pig or something like that. There's nothing else on more interesting in the morning than this. I mean, ITV had to take off the Jeremy Kyle show because he was hemorrhaging viewers to this programme. He didn't have any viewers left. They were all watching this. Bye-bye, Jeremy, you nasty piece of goods. Let's have a look there. LaBelle, what do you consider tall? I was surrounded by people in leather who are big. Oh, I'm not keen on big people, a bit like myself, to be honest. I like a bit of definition. tall and broad. They made me look like a real woman and treated me an actual lady. You are a lady, my dear. You are a lady. Morning to Claire. There's Claire. Good morning, Claire. Tommy Flynn, you get that a lot in church. The Union of Catholic Mothers are known for it. Oh, they're dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Dreadful. Committees are dreadful. I'll never ever be involved in a committee. And they come up to you, don't they, as a like member of the public. Oh, we're trying to do this. Would you sign this, please? No, go away. Not interested. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And they're so full of self-importance. They're so full of self-importance, these committee members. Good morning to JP. Claire's off to Hailing Island. Oh, you like it there, don't you? Have a nice time, my dear. Have a nice time. I notice you're going at the cheap time. You know, weekdays when there are no school holidays. Yes, the cheap time to go on holiday. Very sensible, my love. All right. Good. Okie doke. So that's Father David. I was trying to set up one of my computer monitors. When I go to, so we've got a new karaoke night coming soon to Cleethorpes, which is on the north-east coast. Here is my newly created poster. There we are. That's at Silhouettes Bar, starting Thursday, 11th of July, 2019. Sorry, we've gone back about 5 years then, haven't we? 2019 at Silhouette Bar, 38 Alexandra Road in Cleethorpes. 9 o'clock, 9 till midnight, that one. That's in Cleethorpes, okay? Starting Thursday, 11th of July. Already, some of you who are up there said you would come along and see what it's like up there. But I was trying to set up a monitor because they don't have televisions in the bar, or at least they don't at the moment, which I think is excellent. And I think one of the biggest mistakes bars have made over the years is putting flat screens tellies up on the walls in bars. No one talks to each other. They sit there either staring at the screens or their phones. So I think it's done well there. But that being said, there's nowhere for me to plug my words in. So I got the monitor out that I used at Belushi's. But since then, I've changed computers. So basically, the connector coming out of the computer is now... it doesn't have that one with the multi-pins. You know, the little square thing with the multi-pins. I don't know what it's called. All they have now is the HDMI output. So you have to go HDMI, but the old monitors that I have, 2 old monitors, they've got the old style plugs. Okay, so there is a converter plug that you can get. So you plug it into, so you got your wire coming out of the computer, and then at the end of the wire, you plug it into that wire, and then plug the other wire from the monitor into that, and it's supposed to convert it to work, but it doesn't seem to work. I keep getting D-sub overload or something like that. It doesn't work. I was trying for about half an hour yesterday to get it going, and I looked on various Google sites to see if there was something I could do, and no, I couldn't get it going at all, so I've ordered a new monitor. And the monitor goes on, like I've got a karaoke stand, which I bought, oh God, years ago now. Completely indestructible. It looks like it's been made out of scaffolding poles. I mean, really, it's that solid, this thing. And it's been knocked about over the years, and it never falls over. It's got 4 wheels at the bottom, you know, spread out like that. So if you was to lean on it, it wouldn't really go over. You know, you've got to lean on it pretty hard. So I was trying to do that yesterday, but I couldn't get it going. So in the end, I just ordered a new monitor, which cost about 85 quid. I think it was about 85 quid, and a long HDMI cable as well, which I'll get delivered to my sister's house. I've got 2 weeks to play with. You're probably surprised at how far in advance I prepare things, but I like things to be ready, you know? We wouldn't get to the day before and I hadn't sorted something out, you know. So I've got 2 weeks to sort this out. So the monitor and the lead will be delivered to my sister's house. I'll have the computer with me all the time, so I'll be able to set that up in the caravan just to get it going. Make sure that it works, so that when I get there on the night, you just plug everything together and it works. Because you don't want to be playing around with settings if you can help it. You get to a venue sometimes, although it does happen sometimes, the computer seems to have thrown a wobbly and settings have changed, and then you go in there. But it's that, you know, if you can possibly avoid it, then you do not want to go in to do a job and start mucking around with settings, because you never quite know what's going to happen, to be honest. So that's what I did yesterday afternoon. Morning to Michelle White. Good morning, Michelle. I'm sorry to hear your cat's not well at the moment. Ronnie was telling me, I went to see Ronnie last night, and He told me your lovely little cat isn't too well at the moment. So fingers crossed, darling. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay. Yeah, Claire's going on holiday before the masses spoil it. I know what you mean, Claire. I've been on a holiday with my nephew before, and it was Monday to Sunday. So we got there on Monday. Great. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Lovely. Friday, the weekend lot come. Oh, my God. Rough as houses. Rough as houses. You don't want to be at a haven holiday at the weekend. Just dreadful people. Absolutely awful. You know what I mean, Claire? Awful people. Rough. Getting drunk and pissed. Shouting and screaming. Being thrown out of the club by bouncers, dear. This is a family holiday place and people don't know how to behave themselves. I wouldn't go to a haven holiday at the weekend. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when the schools are not on holiday, is a good time to go to a haven holiday if you want a bit of a quiet time, but you still want the entertainment as well. There's an advice. I'm sure Claire will agree with that. Wouldn't you, Claire, my love? All right. So that was yesterday afternoon. Had a little sleep, got up. Then I watched some of the Kylie stuff on the Glastonbury. I'm not a fan of Glastonbury, as you know. I can't see myself in a great big field using those dreadful toilets and millions of people together. Oh, do my head in. Bumping around, you get burnt a few times with people's cigarette ends, and no doubt there's people smoking drugs and that awful smell. Oh, can't bear it. You know that smell of drugs? That stink, that smoked marijuana. That marijuana stuff. Oh, it stinks, doesn't it? It's just awful. And it's not my cup of tea at all. But I thought, and, you know, the acts, some of the acts are all right, I suppose. But they had Kylie Minogue on there. And she looked fantastic. 52 years old she is. And she was singing the old songs. Although I don't know who was working the sound. The sound was abysmal on there. 1 minute she was singing quietly, and then she said something about the weather, and her voice, she then spoke, and her voice was so much louder than the singing that it made it look like she was miming. I don't think she was miming. Perhaps some of it. But whoever was working the sound last night, it was horrendous. Half the time you couldn't hear her at all. All I could hear was the music. Dreadful sound, but she looked fantastic. She had this red outfit on, part of it, and a very strange looking dancer who had black and white on and walked around like this. Did you see him? It was all part of the show, of course. You know, it's been told to do it. It was all... Did you see how he looked? Very strange. So Kylie Minogue, absolutely fantastic yesterday on the Glastonbury. Presumably that'll be somewhere hanging around on the internet or on the BBC iPlayer if you want to watch that. Claire, there we go. Totally, a lot of drunks live in and around holiday places these days. Oh, they do. And you tend not to see them Monday to Thursday if the schools are still at school. But once the school holidays break up and they all descend on these haven holiday places and other various caravan places that have clubhouses, not the one I got my caravan on because there's nothing like that there. It's all generally the one I'm on. They're all sort of over 50 generally, 55. There's people who are a lot of people who are much older than me on that caravan site. I am very, very few families. But yeah, you don't want to be going at the weekend to those places. Good morning to John Aitken. Good morning, John, who says, "Oh, how Princess Kylie. I'm glad you saw it, John." Were you watching on the BBC? Did you find the sound a bit hit and miss? It was going up and down. It was dreadful, the sound. Someone else had an issue there, didn't they? Was it Janet Jackson? I think Janet Jackson was on there. I like that song by Janet Jackson. What's this one called? La 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 la. Might be called Escape. Ding. Yeah, I'm sure it's called Escape. I like Janet Jackson. But apparently she had sound issues as well. I very much doubt it was the BBC doing the sound. I mean, they're usually top-notch, the BBC doing the sound. Maybe they were plugging in to someone else's system and taking the feed from them. I don't know. Don't know how it would work. So that was Kylie. Had a little bit of a night swim. And it was hardly anyone. There was no soap. There was no soap in 3 of the showers. We got like 3 showers. This is our place up the Hilton Hotel. 3 showers one side and 1 cold shower. And you don't want to go in that cold shower. I mean, the pipe must be connected to the cold water tap. It's that cold, right? So what I had to do was soap myself. And just want you to close your eyes now and picture this. Claire, this will probably do it for you this morning. This will probably do it. Just close your eyes and picture that I'm just go in that shower and soap myself. Soak myself with that, and then in the cold shower without turning it on, and then go into one of the hot showers and then get it off like that. So no soap. Very disappointing. Very badly run last night. I should have to have a word with the manager, Trevor, tomorrow, that they'd run out of soap. Not only soap, but little tissue papers. You know, the tissue papers that you blow your nose on and all that business. And then I walked over to Ronnie, my mate's house, to visit his cats, who are all doing very well. Pussycat, pussycat, what did you there? The one who had the brain operation, he was a bit mad last night. He was a bit hissy last night. Every time he went, bless his eye. I don't think he knows his hair half the time, bless him. Yeah, lovely cat he is. Vuitton the cat, and Ralph, he's the big cat, and had a little stroke with him, and he turns over and goes like that so you can stroke underneath him. Lovely cats, lovely cats. And I got a surprise dinner. He said, do you want something to eat? And he did me burgers and curly fries and baked beans, which were nice. Good morning, Adrian. Welcome to the show. So that's what I had last night. And then we thought, do you want to let's watch Love Island and see what all that's about. So we put Love Island on. What a load of crap. What a load of crap. In fact, it's inspired me. Love Island has inspired me to create some brand new short videos of me doing things that are more interesting than watching Love Island, which I'm going to start at some point today, I think. I'm going to do a little video, see if I can do a little video, maybe one a day even, only half a minute, no more than that, half a minute, and I'll upload it onto the Facebook and probably the YouTube as well, and Instagram, okay? Things that are more interesting to do than watch Love Island. We sat there, I must admit, we weren't paying full attention, you know, because we were eating the dinners and I was eating my dinner and talking to my mate. And we were just looking at this and I thought, what interest is this to anyone? Okay, they're very nice, pretty bodies, but that's it. I mean, at the moment, I'm personally in love with Tommy. I think that's his name, Tommy. And there's this girl on there, and she is all over some of these boys. She must be desperate for it. I can't remember her name now. She was on the practically going closer and closer to this boy the other day, which I saw when it was... I saw it, someone uploaded the clip to Facebook or YouTube or somewhere, and I saw it on there. And honestly, I think it was Tommy, actually, and he weren't having none of it. I think she was Irish. She looked like she was some sort of... It's not a pretty sight when you see someone who's desperate like that, is it? Dreadful. And I just cannot, for the life of me, understand why anyone wants to watch that. It's just awful. Anyway, so that was Love Island. Came back here. Ronnie dropped me back home because I walked up to his house. He dropped me back home. And we were mucking around. I'd got out of the car and we were mucking around. And then accidentally he's moved forward and the wheel of the car is now on my foot. Now, fortunately, it's a Mini, right? So not too much damage done. But I was move the car. I don't know if he couldn't hear me or what, but he's just sitting there, well, forward or back. Just move the bloody car. Oh, it was right on my foot. And it didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. Once the wheel was off, it was a little bit pain. There's no bruising or anything. Just a slightly damaged nail where it broke. I had a car on my foot last night. Dear me. Claire says, to be honest, I'd rather visualise George Clooney, but the scenario is a good one. Oh, well, please yourself then. Please yourself, Claire. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Yeah, JP's looking for a quiet site, you see. You don't want a noisy site, JP. Take your time. Take your time. So that was my day yesterday, boys and girls, all right? There we are. Now, what news stories have I got for your interest today? Well, I mentioned the mobile phone thing, boys and girls. And this was on the BBC News website there we are. This was on the BBC News website this morning. And indeed, it's all over the papers now. The days of you trying to switch your mobile phone and having to talk to someone who wants to keep you there are over. This is the one thing that really annoys you. If you want to switch something Not with the electricity now, because you don't have to talk to anyone. The very fact that you have to talk to someone is worries me. You know, because they try and talk you around, or you get cut off and they pretend that the thing, but they've actually cut you off. Well, you haven't got to do that anymore with your mobile phone. If you want to switch mobile phones companies, it should be easy. And the BBC website, and also many of the papers this morning, mobile phone customers can now switch providers with a single free text under new rules which have now come into effect. This is great news. This is great news. I'm very happy with the mobile phone company I'm with at the moment, which is Three. I get unlimited calls, text and data, £20 a month. £20. The price, if you look around, the price these days of being on a mobile phone network is so cheap. But you've got to do your own work. You know, if you own the phone, okay, and you're not bothered about upgrading, because, you know, remember the last time you upgraded? Did you notice much difference? Because I didn't. I went from an iPhone 5S to an iPhone 8, so a fair period in between those two. You know, it's many, many years period in between those two. But after 2 weeks of having the iPhone 8, I questioned why I'd bothered upgrading, because I didn't have to. I was fortunate. I saved up the money to buy it outright. Okay, so I don't have like one of those contracts where, oh, I've got a brand new phone. How much is that? 60 quid a month. I pay £20 a month on a SIM-only contract with Three. Okay? Anyway, the story says what's happened is that customers in the past have had to phone their mobile phone provider when they want to switch to a new form, new mobile contract supplier. They are then giving a porting authoritative code, PAC, to give to a new provider if they want to keep the same phone number. Now, I've had the same number for years. Years and years and years. I changed it, I think about 2 years ago, because I kept getting dodgy calls. But, you know, generally the same number for years, right? It says, Watchdog Ofcom says the need to speak to a provider can be one of the main factors stopping people switching. As it is, it's not easy. It's not easy. Now, I've just got one of the houses that I have, because I'm a landlord as well. I have a British gas contract. So if they have a problem with their central heating, they just ring this number. British Gas sort it out. I haven't got to get involved. They just ring the number. Now, every year, it goes up considerably. Considerably. And every year, I ring them up. I look around on the internet, find something cheaper. Then I ring up British Gas, and they generally match it, or it goes up not much. A couple of quid. That's it. You know, this year, it's gone up 10%. Now, I'm not having any of that. You know, I'll go with someone else if need be. And that's, you've got to go to the end of the line to get the deals. You get nothing, and I've said this so many times before, you get nothing for loyalty anymore with companies. Don't stay loyal to your electric people, your gas people, your mobile phone. You get nothing for loyalty anymore. Right? And it's difficult because you've got to pick up the phone and talk to someone. Not with your mobile phone anymore. It says, as part of the process of ringing up companies, customers can find themselves dealing with unwanted attempts by the companies to persuade them to stay. Ofcom says the new text-to-switch process will make it quicker and easier for people to leave their mobile company. It will also give them control over how much contact they have with the firm. You know, no one wants people ringing up all the time. I've had it with Toyota. I sent them a very, very stiff letter years ago. You know, as a service was due, you'd start getting phone calls. Oh, good morning, Mr. And the worst one was the dentist. When I had a private dentist, which is some years ago now, they would harass you. They would harass you when it was time for a new appointment, and on. The phone would keep ringing, and then they'd start ringing from unknown numbers. Oh, good morning, Mr. Reardon. Just to let you know, it's time for your appointment again. Oh, I just used to do my head in. Well, they won't be able to do that with mobile phones anymore. After sending a single free text, customers should be switched within 1 working day. However, there might be an early termination fee if you leave before the notice period of your existing contract. So check that first. Don't switch. Don't switch too early so that you then have to pay your notice. You know, wait till you're out of contract. Just wait till you're out of contract. Don't do it before. After sending a... sorry, I've read that. And that's it. That's it, really. Let's have a look here. In November last year, Ofcom fined Virgin and EE £13.3 million for leaving customers who quit broadband and phone contracts early out of pocket. We won't hesitate to do the same if we need to. The other thing that's going to happen is that you shouldn't be paying for two contracts, because you know sometimes you've gone with a new contract and you're still paying the old one. That shouldn't happen now. Here's how to do it. How to switch by text. Customers who want to switch and keep their existing phone number, text PAC, P-A-C, to 65075 to begin the process. Their existing provider will respond by text within a minute. They will then be sent their switching code, that's the PAC code, which will be valid for 30 days. The provider's reply must also include important information about any early termination charges or pay-as-you-go credit balances. The customer then gives their code to the new provider, and this company must arrange for the switch to complete within 1 working day. 1 day. While most people want to keep their mobile numbers when they switch, about 1 in 6 do not. These customers can text STAC to 75075 to request a service termination authorization code. So if you want to switch mobile providers from today, it should be incredibly easy to do that. I think that's excellent news. And as I say, as it says there, most people do keep their original phone numbers. But if you've got any hassle, you know, if you're getting texts or phone calls, perhaps from unknown people at all times of the day and night, and that, then change your number. I did. It's incredibly easy to change your number. I changed mine years ago, and that seems to sort things out. All right. Let's have a look. Good morning to Michael Lawrence joining us there. Morning, Michael. No work today, dear. Are you at work later on, Michael Lawrence? He works for Waitrose, doesn't you? Morning, Michael. What else have we got here? Let's have a look. Glastonbury, the Kylie Minogue thing. We were talking about that earlier. This is in the Metro this morning, and she was fantastic last night. As I say, the sound was pretty abysmal watching it on the on the television, but nevertheless, she was fantastic. And it says it. Kylie Minogue became very emotional as she remembered having to pull out of Glastonbury in 2005 due to her cancer diagnosis 14 years ago, because she was, of course, supposed to be on Glastonbury all those years ago. What's that, 5? That's 15, 16, 17. That's 14 years ago. 14 years ago, and she had the breast cancer, didn't she? Which she was fortunately recovered from. You know, it's catching cancer early, I think, is the key to being able or not to recover from it. A lot of time you've got no signs of you, and by the time you're in, it's too late. But she was lucky. She was lucky. Fighting back tears as the crowd chanted her name, the pop star said, "In 2005, I was meant to be on this very stage. Circumstances meant that I didn't make it. I wish things were different. But life is what it is, right? We are here together for this moment." And it was so nice to see her. And she just looks fantastic, doesn't she? I don't know what she's like in real life. I think the difference between Kylie and Madonna, Kylie comes across as a really, really nice person. Madonna, I'm sorry, she comes across as someone who's completely right up her own arse. Do you think? Perhaps you disagree with that. I don't know. That's how they come across on the telly. Now, just because that's how you see someone coming across doesn't mean that's how they really are. They will have bad days. You know, might be some days where they're on the stage and they've got a lot going on, or they're having to deal with lots of things at the same time, and then you see it break down a little bit. But generally, I think Kylie's probably a really nice person. I think I'd meet Kylie. I don't think I'd want to meet Madonna. No, I don't think I'd want to meet Madonna. John says Kylie was the record-breaking audience at Glastonbury. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. She sang Love at First Sight. We know all these songs. I should be so lucky. Oh, here we go, Joanna. A medley of Kylie hits for you from me. Are you ready? I should be so lucky on a night like this. Je ne sais pas pourquoi. Put your hand on your heart and tell me where the wild roses grow. Don't know that one. Slow. That one. Confide in me. Kids can't stand that. I just can't get you out of my head, especially for you. Shocked by the power. You want a funk. Step back in time. Ba, 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 ba. All you can do is step back in time. That one. And better the devil, you know. That was my favourite record at Reflex in Putney, where I DJ'd some years ago. Many years ago. That's like over 25 years ago. I used to DJ at this place in Putney called Reflex. The bloke before me was Lily Lemon. And I think the favourite song that he played, and I carried it on, was Better the Devil You Know after he left. Locomotion, everybody's doing the van. And now, come on, baby, do the locomotion. Da 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 da. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. I wish there were people behind me now, to join in. They got all the lovers dancing, and I'm spinning around. La 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 la. There we are, a complete medley of Kylie Minogue hits, which I'm singing, and I'd like to dedicate to a big fan of my singing, Joanna. Just for you, Joanna, this morning, all right? John, you must have seen a picture of me with Kylie from 1991. No, I didn't. Where was that taken then, John? Like the sound of... We do have a picture of a viewer this morning. Here's Adam the Plumber. You remember we were talking about he was doing... he raises money for charity, and that's the charity he supports there. He sent this little picture through to me yesterday while we were doing the show. If you send stuff as a private message while I'm doing a show, it's unlikely I will see it, just to warn you of that, until I finish a show. Because obviously, you've got to keep eye on so many things at the same time, and you just can't see everything. So Adam sent that through yesterday. There he is, collecting money for Homes for Heroes, which is an excellent charity. He does a lot of good stuff, Adam. Okay. What's the time? Oh, it's 5 to 10 already. Is it really? Good God. Okay. James Bond. Who's a James Bond fan? In the Sun this morning, the doomed James Bond film has suffered another blow. They're having a lot of problems, according to the newspapers, making the latest James Bond film. Ba 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 ba. I love it. My favourite James Bond, Roger Moore. Moonraker. I think that's probably my favourite James Bond. Moonraker. I love it. He's not with us anymore, old Roger Moore, is he? The doomed James Bond film has suffered another blow after Grace Jones quit her much-hyped role moments after arriving on set. She turned up at Heaven once while I was DJing there. I don't think she came into my room. I was kind of in the job, but the manager at the time, David Inches, that was his name, he came up to me and said, Grace Jones is downstairs. Oh, is he? Is she? And I'm like, well, okay, and? It just didn't bother me at all. I've got no time for celebrities. I'm sorry, dear. They come in. We had, over the years, a few people come in. Some nice, some really nice ones, and some completely up their own arses. And some of them who you don't really know because they're like nobody. Like people from Big Brother. Oh, hello, I'm so-and-so from Big Brother. Oh, right, okay. Oh, do you watch it? No. I've no time for minor celebrities. If Barry Manilow came into the karaoke tonight, I would die. Or Shirley Bassey or Tina Turner, someone like that, I would die. They would be straight on that stage. I wouldn't care. Oh, but it's me next. Shut up. Barry's here. Get out of the way. I would physically remove people if they complained the fact that Barry Manilow had walked in and gone straight onto the stage to sing one of his wonderful songs. Well, Grace Jones, who's now 70, played the iconic villain Mayday in 1985, A View to a Kill. Walked away from the movie after discovering how few lines she'd been given. How embarrassing for the James Bond people. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how big a star is Grace Jones? Is she that big a star, or do you just like her a lot? I don't know, really. She did Slave to the Rhythm and some other stuff, but to me, not. Maybe I'm just not into Grace Jones. That's not to say she's not good. Of course she's good. She sold millions of records, been in James Bond film, but I don't feel a connection with her. Bosses were left frustrated after wasting precious time and money securing a luxury residence for her to stay near Pinewood Studios in Buckinghamshire. Oh, really? They didn't use it. Didn't ask me. Did they say luxury residence? That's where I live. A luxury residence. Don't know. A source says Grace's 007 homecoming was meant to be a real crowd-pleasing moment. Bosses were really excited about landing her. Of course, she comes with a reputation, so they organised premium accommodation and rolled out the red carpet on set to make her feel welcome. But it turns out Grace was expecting to play a bigger role in the movie and took her brief cameo as a slight. As a slight? What's that mean, as a slight? She was out there quicker than it takes to rustle up a martini. Grace's cameo, thought to involve a scene opposite Daniel Craig, was first rumoured back in April. It's the latest setback to the before Bond 25, which earlier this month was rocked by 3 huge explosions on the set. The film was delayed after Bond actor Daniel Craig, who's 51, he don't know 51, does he? Tweaked ankle ligaments last month, forcing filming to be cancelled. It had already been thrown off course by the departure of the original director Danny Boyle, who quit over a script dispute in August 2018, so last year. And earlier this month, a mutiny erupted on set after his replacement, Kari Fukunaga, 40, skipped filming to play on his PlayStation. Despite its chaotic production, Bond 25 is still scheduled for release on April the 3rd next year. A spokesman for the film declined to comment. So it's not till next year. For some reason, I thought it was going to be out this year. But I'm a great Bond fan. What's your favourite Bond? As I say, I think mine's either Moonraker or For Your Eyes Only. I quite like that one. I like the theme music from Sheila Reason. I've got a fantastic instrumental version of that as played by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. And I think it's on the album called Visions. Visions. For your eyes only, only for you. That one. Lovely song. Lovely song. Heidi says, I remember dancing on the dance floor at Trade with Sue Pollard. Let's say she's definitely wasn't on this planet. I've met Sue a couple of times. Yes, I remember seeing her at Trade. I must have been there that time. Same day with you, Heidi. She was great. Oh, Sue Pollard. She's great. In the Heidi High and everything. And I worked with her in Clapham a few years ago. I can't remember why she was there now. Actually, I don't know if she was on the stage or just come to see a show, actually. Adrian says, Grace Jones is completely mad. She's quite a good performer. I saw her in Victoria Park 3 years ago. Very wacky and fit for her age, just like me. Is that right? John says Grace supported Kylie at Hyde Park a few years ago and she was amazing. I haven't seen. Mike says Jane McDonald was brilliant at the concert I went to on Friday night. Jane McDonald, excellent. I love her. She's so normal, isn't she, Jane McDonald? I love her. I've watched that programme. Well, she did a series either on Channel 4 or Channel 5, didn't she? John, his Kylie photograph backstage in Perth, Australia. She was lovely and loved my Scottish accent. Yeah, we like Kylie Minogue. Good morning to Paul Dow. A very good morning. It's too early for Paul this morning, isn't it? License to Kill by Gladys Knight is my favourite Bond theme song. The License to Kill. It's too early for my singing, says Paul Dow this morning. I like that. License to Kill. For Your Eyes Only. What's the other theme one? The World Is Not Enough. Was that garbage? The world is not enough. Ba 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 ba. There was one Bond song that I didn't think was particularly good. Can't remember now. Of course, Bassie's done 3, isn't she? She's done 3. All right. Okay. One more story. Have we got one more story for you today? No, I think that's it. We is done. We is done, man. We is done. Okay, so let's do today's birthdays. Happy birthday on this Monday, the 1st of July, 2019 to... Paul Dale, look, Skyfall. You're my Skyfall. La, la, la. I like that one, Paul. I like that one. Did Madonna do a Bond song? What was that then? What was Madonna's Bond song? I'll come to that in a minute. Happy birthday on this Monday, the 1st of July, 2019, to the delightful Jess Francis. Yes, another year has gone past, Jess, since I last wished you happy birthday. Happy birthday to Jess. Kenny Vincent, good morning, Kenny. Happy birthday to you. Colin Simmons, morning, Colin. Happy birthday. Kev Lee, it's Kev Lee's birthday today. Alexandra Robinson today is 34. And Chris Sutcliffe's birthday as well. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Ray likes I Only Live Twice by Nancy Sinatra. Thank you. Die Another Day, John Aitken. Was that Madonna, Die Another Day? Can't remember that one. It can't have been that good if I can't remember it, I suppose. Paul's coming along to the karaoke tonight. Thank you, Paul. So are you coming along to the karaoke tonight? That is the question, because we are here in North London tonight. Join us for karaoke at Central Station Bar, 37 Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, London. Postcode for your sat-navs, N19SD. Every Monday, karaoke from 7:30 at the wonderful place I love to work, Central Station Bar. Okay, that's tonight from 7:30. Thanks ever so much, for joining us on the show today. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.